What up, everyone? It's your boy Red Hawk. It is Saturday, May 9, 2026, in the evening at 7:25 p.m. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit shorter, possibly 15 minutes, as I'm about to go to sleep in an hour or so. I have to clarify things from my previous two videos. First thing about being in the middle school band. I think I might have told you already about Bio Dad uh, confiscating my childhood home video tape and how infuriating it was. For in connection, he actually wanted me to stay in the band because he thought I would be the most proficient clarinet player in the entire family. Well, the thing is, I deeply hated my time in Dr. John Whitener's beginning band back in seventh grade because I felt forced to basically become musically inclined as the rest of the Mikus when I am really not musically inclined. I'm more like geared, built different, geared towards the acting side of things when it comes to artistry. That being said, I quit being a clarinet player after seventh grade. And when I went to Columbus Middle School in Canoga Park in eighth grade, I actually wanted to try my hand at drawing because, in all actuality, my dad actually taught me how to draw anatomy. The funny thing is, we actually started with mom's anatomy and how Biodad teasingly drew mom without clothes on. That was like the funniest part ever. And he drew it in a thin gray paper on a yellow sketch pad, if I recall, using a charcoal pencil, which was pretty hilarious, I would say. God, those memories. They've been flooding again, especially after my guttate psoriasis and subsequent psoriatic arthritis and knee infusion. I gotta tell you, folks, when I had those ailments, it I felt like I was on the verge of death, really, and I don't know if my right leg was gonna get better throughout those 3 months that I had those ailments, but I guess now I gotta say I'm still alive and I'm still moving and I'm still working at the airport. So there's that. As you can see, I'm the happiest that I could be in this recording. Especially after letting out a good significant number of disturbing stuff from so many years ago. That aside, I also got to clarify about my uh, little bit of peaceful tirade towards the Navy's GOAT locker, GOAT. That is the Chief's mess. Now, I have to say, I do not despise the ranks of Chief Petty Officer, Senior Chief Petty Officer, and Master Chief Petty Officer, pay grades E7 to E9. In other words, I do not necessarily have anything against those ranks. In fact, for those of you on YouTube that are striving to get those ranks during your naval career, I gotta say, more power to you. It's just that a person like myself is not built for those ranks. I, for one, do not think that I am capable of being in the center of a deck plate leadership. Because of my education as of now, my studies in electronics, business, and aviation administration, as well as theater, foreign languages, and all others that I've tried, I know that I can be more capable of better things, of better ranks than merely being a senior enlisted guy in the naval service. And so I have decided to switch from Navy to Army in hopes of working my way up as a senior sergeant from like Buck Sergeant E5 to like either Staff Sergeant and or Sergeant First Class before putting in my application packet for the Warrant Officer program, either as a pilot or aviation maintenance warrant officer someday. That being said, I have to talk about a good deal of memories from many years ago still. Like I said in my previous videos, I am not done telling you what the hell went down when I was growing up. And so, here we go. Sometime in 2007, Dad and Stepmom were singing karaoke during a party with some of the other uh, older Filipinos in the community. At one point, they were saying a really deaf-tone rendition of the universally acclaimed love duet called Endless Love. Let's see here. I am typing right now. It is by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie. And I gotta tell you folks, it was hilarious. Dad was giving it all as Lionel Richie, but Stepmom, she seemed distant, uninterested, and moreover off-key when singing the Diana Ross part. She was like, I found in you my endless love. I should have seen their divorce in the early 2010s coming when that happened. But hey, I could only walk by and stare for like what, a good 2 seconds before they noticed me looking at them while they were singing that god awful version of Ross and Richie during their karaoke party. And so, afterwards, I locked myself in my room in the house in Coolidge at that time. My room was actually on the left part of the house, overlooking the front from the window. And so I shut myself in and just played Resident Evil Code Veronica X on my PS2 while blaring Sunday Bloody Sunday by U2 on my headphones from my teal and white Sony CD player. This is mainly just so I wouldn't have to bear them singing god-awful love duets, god-awful versions of famous love duets, and a number of gospel songs that they included in their karaoke selection. In the middle of this, as I grill those Twisted 2 in the most friendliest way that I could, I had to indicate a personal disclaimers note. As horrible as these instances were for me, I think it's just high time that I tell all of you about these so you can learn how to parent from my very own being creator's mistakes. That is, Bio-Dad and Bio-Mom. And especially the third wheel, Stepmom, aka the second wife of Bio-Dad. Now, back to another incident. This one, maybe not so hilarious, but mildly to medium level infuriating for myself. There was what I would call the U2 incident. It was 2005. I think it was either spring or summertime of that year, 21 years ago. U2, one of my all-time favorite bands due to Bio-Mom being a big fan of the band herself, won the Grammy Awards that year. I was cheering for Bono, David the Edge Evans, Paul Bono Houston, David the Edge Evans, Adam Clayton, and Larry Mullen Jr. when they received the award. Only stepmom had to be such a uh, saddening killjoy by criticizing how they look, saying, "Oh gee, look at how these guys are dressed. Black, all demonic, like gothic vampires. Black jackets, black shirts, black everything. So evil." Want to know what my primary reaction to that was? Oh, look who's talking! The devil herself! Of course, I didn't say that in front of her, but that was my internal computation for dialogues around that time. I don't want to say, I don't want to delve into further details, but I gotta say, I had a few bouts of meltdowns from that toxic episode. No thanks to stepmother during school. I think it was I was coming up in sophomore year when no, it was actually several months later when I was starting junior year. I had a homeroom in one of the industrial bungalow classrooms, and I basically had a few meltdowns regarding that incident when I was just shouting and screaming vulgarities and just laying it all for every single one of my classmates to see and my homeroom teacher to see when they didn't even know what I was going through. And I gotta say, looking back 21 years later, I have to say to everyone, my classmates and my teacher, Mr. Tubman was it? I am very sorry for acting the way I did, everyone. And I hope all of you are doing well, and yes, I hope you can forgive me for what I did. A future suggestion for my future videos. Whenever I talk about stepmom moving forward, I will have to say from time to time, curse her impure, wretched innards. For I do not think she ever had a soul nor a heart. This is the negative spectrum version of God bless her soul or bless her heart. Oh, and lastly, I have to make an introduction on one of the most sensitive issues that I would like to discuss in my future videos, and that is issues regarding older Filipinas and how they view younger islander people, basically. This is all stemming from summer of 2006. It must have been like summertime around that time when Bio Dad and Stepmom held another party in our Coolidge home. This time, stepmother invited a number of her Filipina lady friends. They must have been around mid 40s or late 40s to early or mid 50s. And apparently, a good 3 or 4 of them saw me and they hailed me as someone that's quote unquote handsome. I don't know why they're saying that to me. Possibly because I inherited some of my dad's prevalent physical traits. I don't know. I don't even want to brag about all this stuff because that little instance kind of disgusted me. You want to know why? Because these ladies, they implied that I had a Filipina girlfriend. Well, guess what? The joke's on them. I'm actually into Japanese women. I had been, always has been, and always will. That is stemming from when I was like, what, I don't know, 7 or 8, when I was looking at the pictures of ladies with kimonos and maybe some other suggestive illustrations and photos on the internet. I just want to be candid a little bit about that, just so I can provide a little bit of humor for you folks. But seriously, yeah, that instance was quite uncomfortable for me. You know what's really disgusting about those ladies? Two of them are hypocritical. One was married to a black gentleman and had a half black kid, and the other was married to a white, retired Marine Corps sergeant major who I met one time sporting a flat top haircut as if he was still in the Corps. That Filipina lady and the white sergeant major had a daughter together, half white. And guess what? It just really disgusts me that these ladies would imply that I had a Filipino girlfriend. When I am here in America looking to basically do not ever date or marry a Filipina. Now, folks, I gotta tell you, I am not a bigot, okay? I am not even the R word. That's just personally my personal preference all in all. So please, do not grill me on the comments about this. I'm just trying to be as respectful and transparent to all of you regarding my childhood and adolescent experiences. So please, just I ask all of you, just try to understand where I am getting at with all of this. With all of these issues and sordid episodes that I experienced when I was growing up here in America. That aside, I think it just feels really good to finally let all of this out after so many years. I mean, a guy like me can only take so much until he has to find some kind of venue to let all of the frustrations he had from his upbringing. And for those that have seen this video uh, in its entirety, I thank all of you. If you happen to see one segment or maybe another, like one or two, if not three, things that I three main things that I covered in this video, I appreciate it nonetheless. But please do not bombard me with all the hate in the world. I'm just trying to basically give life lessons to those that are currently experiencing what I experienced many years ago as a child and as a teenager. That being said, I'm coming up on the 17 and a half mark. I think I've said too much. Until next time, everybody, that's it. Red Hawk out. Peace.